As the imaginary deadline for Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant draws closer, discussions of Canelo's possible move to light heavyweight division in lieu of the unification bout at 168 grows louder. Should Canelo make a move to 175 pounds, Hall of Famer Bernard Hopkins gave FightHype.com a resounding endorsement. Here's what he said. Canelo can compete all the way up to cruiserweight as far as I'm concerned. The light heavyweight division? I think he sweeps through that. He's willing to put the work in. He's willing to go through anything he has to go through to be great. He can represent 2 divisions, 3 divisions like he's already done and doing. Very few fighters can do that. Come on, cruiserweight, my God. I mean, I love that Bernard Hopkins is so encouraging, but what stuck out the most to me is that he's encouraging and Oscar De La Hoya wants to fight him. But anyway, who is the most intriguing fight at 175?
Well, first off, in regards to him saying cruiserweight, you and I were in a room with Canelo once upon a time, and he told us and looked us dead in our eyes and said, hey, maybe cruiserweight. So
I thought he was joking, though. Come on, man.
Maybe, but maybe not. But I do agree with you where Bernard Hopkins seems like he's candid and honest about how he feels about Canelo, and maybe Oscar, doesn't feel the same way because they don't have a great relationship. I mean, it's not like
he's honest too. Like, I want to fight him.
Right, exactly. So both men, even though they work under the same umbrella, under the Golden Boy banner, right, they're honest about their feelings. I respect it. I respect honesty. I respect, Bernard not jumping on Canelo, on Oscar's hate bandwagon. Not that he hates him. I'm just saying that.
Not too late. You said it.
No.
Hate bandwagon.
The point I'm trying to make is I respect him for being honest. I respect Oscar for expressing himself the way he feels. I think an Oscar De La Hoya Canelo fight would be massive if Oscar were to win some real professional fights first.
No,
right?
it would be massive, but would it be fair? Would it be fair to fight a guy who's been out of the sport, a guy who's 48 years old? I love that Oscar wants to challenge himself like that, but I don't know if that's the fight we should all want to see. I mean, I feel like there's only one fight at 175 pounds.
All right, well,
and that's Beterbiev.
I think that's not the only fight. There's a Bivol fight there that's pretty big.
But who do people speak about the most that he won't fight is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And look, when he fought Lara, it's like people are saying, you're not going to fight Lara. And that's the kind of Canelo I'm used to seeing. Fighting the guys that people say, you don't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight.
And those are the fighters that he wants to fight. Guys that people say that. Now, Beterbiev is the guy that's probably the scariest at 175 because all of his fights ended knockout. He's a big, strong guy, but that name's been thrown out there. So it looks like that's an option. If the Caleb Plant fight doesn't happen, it looks like that is an option. I think that's the better fight for Canelo Alvarez. I think the Bivol fight, not that he can't win the Bivol fight, I think the Bivol fight is more difficult. So, I mean, if I was Eddie Reynoso or part of his team, I would suggest that fight. But let's go for Beterbiev if he moves up to 175 and doesn't get the Plant fight, which I'm hoping for an announcement soon, Barack. Speaking of Canelo, let's talk about his team. He's not the only fighter preparing for an upcoming bout. Recently, Eddie Reynoso posted the following photo on social media showing Canelo team formed like Voltron. They're all back training, getting ready for fights for the end of the year. Interesting enough, none of the boxers you see in this photo have official fights confirmed. Barack, this is a hell of a photo. Looks like a hell of a team. Like, we all know who Canelo might fight, right? But let's match the rest of the guys. Oscar Valdez, Andy Ruiz, and Ryan Garcia. Talk to me, Barack.
I mean, they all had fights this year. Was Oscar Valdez fight last? No, it was this year. So, we're not in a rush to see them. But if I had to match make, I would put Andy Ruiz with Luis Ortiz. I'd put Ryan Garcia. See, I don't know if he can go straight back into a big fight, but I would say, because I want to see the unification of that division, 135. So I want to see Tio and I want to see Devin. I want to see them two fight, and then we can say we got an undisputed champion, and there's no dispute in that. So I'd like to see Ryan with maybe Jojo Diaz now that he just beat Fortuna. And then Oscar Valdez, why not get in there with either Jamel Herring or Shakur? I think since he said it publicly on ESPN, sure, why not fight Shakur? Then make that fight, Oscar.
You know, Barack, it's funny that you said these guys fought earlier this year, so we're in no rush to watch them, but that's not how it was in the 80s and 90s. Like, guys fought more often, 3 times a year, even 4 times a year, top level guys. Maybe that's the problem. We're used to seeing guys once or twice a year, and we're okay with it. Maybe that's why, boxing doesn't happen as often as it once did, because guys need more time off. And I think that we should reel it back to at least 3 fights a year. Canelo's setting the bar already, right? And he's the top guy. Maybe the other guys will follow suit.
Yeah, I say like right now, 2 times has become acceptable to the public. I think that it's all based on, how well you can perform, how well you can get in there, and how you can get in there and do. Because look, in 5 months, Canelo has fought 3 times. We can't set that bar like that. Just because Canelo's doing doesn't mean that everybody can do that. Sometimes there's injuries, sometimes there's cuts.
I'm just saying, get away from fighting twice a year. Get away from the Mayweather way. Let's get away from the Mayweather way. Mayweather has retired. He's moved on. Let's try something different.
And you know why he did that? It's funny because everybody's taking his model with everything, but they're taking the late Mayweather model. Not to say, right. And the thing is that he did that because he said it one time in a 24/7. Because Roger said, if it was me, what I would do different with your career is I'll have you fight more. And Mayweather said, yeah, I wouldn't mind that, but it's like it takes 3 months just to promote a pay-per-view. And that's the way he was looking at it. That's the reason why he used to fight 2 times a year. That's the reason why he took those Mexican holiday dates, and made it into a big spectacle twice a year.